Hello everyone, I'm Professor Gardevoir and class is now in session. Welcome to the first of what's going to be 18 videos where I talk about my top 5 favorite Pokemon of each type. Fun fact, this was originally going to be a top 10 of each Pokemon type, but I was going through all the types and making the list, and for some types I just couldn't really justify putting 10 of them on there because I just didn't really have 10 favorites. So, it's just going to be top 5. I decided to start with the normal type because, well, it just seemed normal to do that. The normal type is the type that every Pokemon player has used. It's always abundant in the early game, and a lot of early game bird Pokemon have this type as well. However, I never find myself using this type much for the entire game, as the normal type overall is kinda mediocre. The normal type is not super effective against any other type. Can't hurt ghost types, though to be fair, the ghost type can't hurt it either. Is not resistant to any type, and is resisted by rock and steel, and is weak to fighting. So offensively it has no advantages, only disadvantages, and defensively it has 1 immunity and 1 weakness. Not that great. I'll admit most Pokemon on this list are on here because I like the design, as I've barely used any of these Pokemon in a full playthrough. So I guess strength isn't everything. Sometimes you just have to be cute. Number 5. Tauros. Tauros is one of the most nerfed Pokemon in history. In Gen 1, Tauros was one of the best Pokemon, period. It had great stats, a great move pool, a great critical hit rate, it had Blizzard, Body Slam, Earthquake, Hyper Beam. It had it all. It was Gen 1 royalty. And then Gen 2 happened. And it was all downhill from there. The critical hit rate was nerfed, Hyper Beam was nerfed, the special stat got split into 2, which nerfed Tauros really hard. It was just a mess for Tauros. It was almost like Game Freak went out of its way to nerf this thing. I guess it wasn't all bad. It got Intimidate in Gen 3. That's good, right? Okay, despite the huge nerf, I'll never forget how I used Tauros to destroy my opponents in Gen 1. Sure, it was no Mewtwo, but it was still really, really good and fun to use. It was a pain to catch, but it was well worth it. Way more than Kangaskhan, that's for sure. Plus it's a bull, and bulls are cool. I'm honestly surprised Tauros hasn't gotten anything yet. Being a Gen 1 Pokemon, you would think would have gotten an evolution, a Mega, a regional variant, or something, but no. Come on, Game Freak. Grab the Raging Bull by the horns and let it loose one more time. Number 4. Wooloo. I love this little sheepy. When Wooloo was revealed, I, along with pretty much everyone else, went Baba for it. Get it? Baba instead of Gaga. I'll get me coat. In all seriousness, I just love this design. It's simple, sure, but so gosh darn cute. Sadly, that's all it's got. Its stats and move pool, even when it evolves, are trash. I tried using one on my first playthrough and ended up shelving it because it added nothing to my team. But like a lot of Pokemon on my top 5 list, it's here because I just love it and I want to hug it. I think Pokemon like Wooloo continue to push the idea that simple designs don't equal bad designs. A lot of people complain about simplistic designs and then go crazy for Pokemon like Wooloo. Wooloo is exposing all the haters. Number 3. Lopunny. And no, not for the reason you're thinking of, you perv. Lopunny is another Pokemon that's on here because I like its design and think it's cute. Plus its shiny is pink, and I like pink shinies. Sadly, much like Wooloo, it's not great in battle, continuing Game Freak's insistence that early route mono normal types must suck. Lopunny did get a pretty strong Mega, though. That no longer exists. I don't need every Pokemon to be strong, but it was just a bit of a tease giving Lopunny a huge buff and then taking it away. Now it's just a cute little fluff ball. And I'm okay with that. I just love how it puts its hands up like it's shy or something. It's the little things in life. Number 2. Aipom. I don't know why I love this little monkey so much, I just do. And this is a more recent thing. I never cared about Aipom when it came out and wouldn't for many years. It was only until Legends Arceus that I formed a bond with this Pokemon. I still don't know how it happened, but all of a sudden I had one in my party and never wanted to take it out. Now I have a level 100 Aipom permanently in my party in that game. Just something about that smile and playful personality. Plus it has the elemental punches, so its type coverage is good. Aipom is also so common in that game that I've caught 2 shinies of it, and its shiny is pink, and I like pink shinies. I wasn't even shiny hunting them. I think Aipom was just returning my love. I will create an army of monkeys. Aipom is also a great example of my opinion on a certain Pokemon drastically changing over time. These top 5 lists are by no means final, just a representation of my opinion at the time of writing. If I did these lists years ago, they would be very different, and they'll probably be different years from now. And number 1, Eevee. Is this an obvious number 1? I don't care, I love this pupper. He's a good pupper. Eevee and its evolutions, or evolutions, are some of the most popular Pokemon out there, and for good reason. Sure, Eevee is only viable in Let's Go Eevee, but it's so overpowered it's awesome. It's also hands down one of the cutest Pokemon ever created, and the gimmick of it being able to evolve into so many different forms and types is great. We need more evolutions, darn it! Pretty much any time I would get an Eevee, I would have to make the tough choice of what I was going to evolve it into. It usually depended on my team, making Eevee one of the most flexible Pokemon out there. Basically, it's always useful somehow, which keeps it relevant even to this day. And also, did I mention it's cute? Well, there you go, that's the list. I know I didn't have a lot to say about these Pokemon, but that's because I don't use the normal type much. When I talk about Pokemon types I use a lot, I promise I'll have a lot more to say. Tell me your favorite normal Pokemon in the comments below, and until next time, class dismissed.